Hello, everybody. This is Brandy. I'm so excited you guys decided to join in on tonight. Um, I know that YouTube and Google Hangout takes a little minute to sync up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and introduce myself and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing tonight. If you are on, I can see my chat in YouTube and on Google. So if you have a question that you want to throw out, please do that. We're really excited about tonight. My assistant, Miss Teresa, she is awesome. We were talking about how you guys made Kick Fear in the Face a total success. I expected a few people to get on and to enjoy the video, but I was definitely overwhelmed by how many people got on, how many people asked questions, and how many people followed up. So tonight is the second part of this webinar series. And I just want to tell a little bit about myself and what I do because some of you are my friends and family. Hi, Mom. Hi, honey. But some of you really don't know me very well. And I wanted to take a minute to just introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me and why I'm doing this event tonight. So, again, my name is Brandy Woods, as you see at the bottom of the screen. You want to keep that email because at the end of tonight, I'm going to be telling you about something amazing. And I want you to make sure that you're able to connect with me. So, I own a chain of private schools in the Houston area, and we have been growing for approximately 2 years. We're about to hit our 2-year mark next month in September. And we're also gearing up to open up a new location. But that was not my first business. It probably won't be my last business because I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And what that means is I love different things and I believe that I can have a business in more than one arena. So although I own the schools, because I was an educator, a teacher, a curriculum director, I was in public education for about 17 years. I still love the consulting work that I do in the education field. And I also love helping people start, grow, and expand their business. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my second company, which is called the MAD Agency. MAD Agency stands for Mission Accomplished Development Agency. About a year ago, I felt a burning passion to help other people fire their boss, get off their job, and start the business that they have been wanting to start. I knew people who kept saying, I want to start a business, but I'm not sure how. I don't know if I have enough money. I don't know if I have enough tools. And so we started the MAD Agency. And it was a group of about 4 to 8 of us that came together and we made a decision that we were going to help each other grow our businesses. And that organization is still alive and kicking today. It's called the MAD Agency. And the whole idea was we were going to use synergy, collective energy to help people start and grow their businesses. We were going to tell them the tools they needed. We were going to explain to them legally what does it take to start a business and also give them those soft skills that translate into monetizing your idea. You know, when your passion can turn into profit, that's what you call an everyday vacation. I work a lot of hours. I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you work 4 hours a week and you can become a millionaire overnight. That's not true. It takes a lot of energy and time and putting systems into place to run a profitable business. So one thing you're going to get from me tonight is the truth. I mean, real, unadulterated truth. Anytime I played truth or dare as a kid, I always wanted the truth because I want to know how people do what they do, right? I don't like advertisements that claim unrealistic goals, and that's one of the things that I'm committed to is really meeting people where they are and helping them get to the life that they want and to deserve. So now for the nitty gritty. Mommy to millionaire. How many mothers and fathers do I have on the call? Because I have a lot of men that watch me too. And someone said, well, why can't you do from fathers to millionaire? Well, I'm not a father. So for all of my fathers out there, you can rename this fathers to finances if you want to. But I just really want to talk tonight how you can monetize your parenting skills. So we went and I told you a little bit about who I am. And for those of you who did not know me, hopefully you know me a little bit better. But I'm also a mommy to two beautiful little girls, Madison and McKinzey. And they are the reason why I do so much of what I do. I love those babies so much. And, when I say babies, they're 7 and 12. And they've taught me so much as a person that I have to give them credit for where I am today. My daughters are 5 years apart, so they have very different needs. And one of my daughters, she has some special needs, and she loves her mommy time. My other daughter, she is like the most energetic child. This child never learned how to walk. I mean, she ran straight out of the womb. This little girl, she moves nonstop all day. And so my children, they're very different in personalities, even though, of course, they have some similarities. But about 2 years ago, when I really had made a decision to start my business, I pulled a lot of skills that I learned being a parent. One of the skills that you have to have when you own a business is you really have to be organized. And as a parent, it's one of the things that I really learned is how to organize my day so nothing goes astray. How many of you have a calendar? No, I'm serious. A real live calendar. You have to schedule your time. If you do not schedule your time, there are going to be always deadlines you miss. You're going to always feel like you're running around aimlessly. You have to have a calendar. My calendar, it is my business Bible. It is color coded. It is full of adventure. And it also includes my personal life and my business life. Because if you don't, you'll find that you will inadvertently have a lot of clashes. I know that I cannot be everywhere all the time, but I don't want my children to suffer and I don't want my business to suffer. So I've learned how to use my time very wisely to make sure that I'm organized. Yeah. So I use my calendar on Google. I put in everything. And I also put in those wishful things, my goals on my calendar, those deadlines that I just cannot afford to miss. Being a mother also taught me patience. It taught me how to wait things out. It taught me how to be slow to speak. It's something that I'm still working on. Um, when you're a mother, you cannot say everything that comes to your mind because one of the biggest things that you're responsible for is building the esteem of your children. It's the same thing in business. You have to build the esteem of your clients. You have to build the esteem of the people that work for you. You have to build the esteem of everyone that comes in contact with you in order for them to know how relational you are. It's one of the major things I've learned. As you teach your children different skills, whether it's cleaning up after themselves or doing their homework in a timely fashion, you have a responsibility to do that in a way where they can learn from you and you're not tearing them down. It's a daily growth. When I first took on employees, it was really me and my mom. We were the everything. But now, I employ about 16 people and we have to train them. We have to teach them. We have to grow them. And that takes a lot of patience. You cannot expect to be a business owner and to have the end result of a year instantaneously. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to learn patience over time. You have to learn how to research and how to gather information and not to just jump in head on because you were not patient enough to do your due diligence. Another skill that I learned from being a mom is resilience. How many times have you done it wrong as a mother? Me, I make mistakes every single day, every day. But I wake up the next day knowing that I can do better. I can remember one time where I was helping my daughter do homework. And at the end of her doing the homework, she said, "Man, that was stressful." Well, that's not what I wanted her to feel after spending time with me. I didn't want her to feel extreme stress. And so I learned that I have to take time to get some things right. I learned not to address situations with my children when I'm emotional or when I'm upset. That takes resilience because you have to give yourself a chance to start over every day. And that's what you have to do in business. I can't tell you how many times I picked up the pen to write my book, right? And if I were to go based on the success or failures of that, how many times I stopped and started, then I would say, "Oh, just give up. Don't worry about it. You're never going to get it done." But I refuse to give up. I absolutely refuse to give up. And it takes resilience to keep trying something over and over. You know, there's a quote that says 3 out of every 10 businesses will fail. Okay. Those statistics are horrible. But I want you to know that this is not the very first business I started. I don't even want to give the impression that where I am today is where I was a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. It took resilience and patience to get to where I am today to have this conversation with you. It did not happen overnight. And sometimes we don't give ourselves the ability, we don't give ourselves the time to really grow and to learn. And so, in order to grow and to learn, you have to be patient and you have to operate in resilience. One of the things that I learned in all of the business ventures that I've tried, I am a Mary Kay consultant. If you're my customer now, you probably know that. And right now, I'm not a major consultant, but I stay active and I have customers. But I learned a lot under the Mary Kay model. One of the things that she taught, and she taught very well through her business, is planning and organization, but she also taught you how to have resilience, how every day you have to be consistent. She also taught how you have to have priorities and put things into perspective. And she has a motto: God first, family second, and career. And when those things are in alignment, you can do things a little bit better. Now, that does not mean that sometimes you're going to have more emphasis on your business than you do on family, but it just means that you're going to do things in such a way where your business honors the principle of God, that your family is not going lacking, that you're working for your family in conjunction with your family, and then you're going to follow your business principles. That statement and that skill took me so far when it came to making decisions of my mommy moments. Was this more important than what I needed to do with my children? What I needed to do, was it time sensitive in my business? And if I followed that rule of thumb, most of the time I made the right decision. I was able to organize my day and organize my life where nothing went lacking, where my children were taken care of, and my business didn't suffer as well. See, motherhood is not a choice. Once you have that child, you don't have a choice whether you want to be a mother or not, but you have a choice whether you want to be a business owner. And both of them take responsibility. Both of them are actually like children. If you don't nurture it, if you don't, spend time with it, it won't grow. It will be deficient. It will be lacking. So when you start a business, it's just like raising a child. In its infancy, you're not going to get from it what you will once it grows and it matures. But in order for it to grow and mature, you have to give it the appropriate time. You have to do what you need to do to make sure that it's not crumbling. You have to hold it in high esteem. And so that's one of the things that I learned from Mary Kay, that you have to be resilient. You have to have a good work ethic, but you also have to put things into perspective. Another thing that I learned as a parent that I use in my business all the time, and I've touched on it a little bit, is multitasking and time management. Some of you know, because I talked about it at the blogging conference. I'm a part of a wonderful blogging group in Houston, the Houston African American bloggers. And we talked a little bit about the tools that you can use to make sure that you organize your business. And the time management tool that I use, and it's new for me, it's called Trello. In this tool, I'm able to take time and put all the tasks that I need so nothing goes lacking. I can assign a calendar. I can merge that calendar to Google. And this really keeps me on abreast of timelines and what I need to do. But multitasking is totally different from time management. Multitasking is your ability to do more than one thing well in the same given time frame. For example, most of the time when I help my kids with homework, I'm also cooking, or I'm doing another task. And then there are some things where I have to give sole focus, but most of the time I am a true multitasker. I'm watching TV, but I'm also doing my calendar. I'm working on our budget or our new advertising campaign, or, I'm doing Facebook posts while I'm doing something else at the same time. So what I have learned to do is to compact what I can do in a certain amount of time to give me the ability to have more time. I am a person who definitely believes that you have to have time for yourself. You have to have time for your family, and you have to have time for business. And when those things get out of alignment, oftentimes they will cause chaos in your life. And so for you to have personal time, family time, and time to grow your business, you have to be great at time management and multitasking. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is major, and it's about money. Budgeting. How many of you have a budget? No, seriously. You know your expenses, you know your liabilities, you know where, you have money coming in. This will allow you to know your deficits, also allow you to know your surplus. At one point in my parenting, I became a single mother. Shouts out to all the single moms out there holding it down. Great thing about my journey into parenting from a two-parent home to a one-parent home is I had great support. I not only had support from my family, but I had support from the paternal side of the family as well. And this really did allow me, some time to have free time and work for myself. But there are sometimes long spans of time that it's just me and the kiddos, right? But during the time when I first became a single mom and moved from a 2-income home to a 1-income home, money was tight. No, seriously. I mean, it was super tight. I can remember in that transition having a day where my bank account was at 32 cents. And I just watched it and I was like, just don't go negative. Don't go negative. Because I knew that it was going to be a few days before I got paid again. I lived in that space. I lived in a space where I really didn't have a lot of extra money to do some of the things that I desired to do. So if that's you today, it's okay. You may not have all the tools and the resources today to do what you want to do, but I don't want you to fret. The first thing that you need to do before you ever start a business is you have to manage your own home budget first. I know I'm probably stepping on some toes right now, but if your home budget is not in alignment, neither will your business budget. I'm going to say that again. If your home budget is not in alignment, neither will your business budget. More money does not mean you're going to handle that money better. So you have to buckle down now and learn how to budget your money. So I see the question, well, what if I just don't have enough money, that my bills are more than my pay, and I have more month than money, and I lived in that space where the month was not over, but the money for the month, it was gone. This is a time where you really need to invest in your business in such a way. Before I ever had a brick and mortar business, before I ever had a building, I learned how to make money outside of my 9 to 5 job. Um, and you know your skills and your talents better than I do. But if you need help in seeing what is it that I can do now to make an extra $500 a month or extra $1,000 a month to loosen up your budget, I challenge you to email me at my email address, and let's start a conversation about what can you do to monetize the skills you already have while you're preparing to go full on in your business. I knew early on that I had my insurance license. So when money got tight, I used that skill. I reached back and I used that skill. Maybe you're really good at organizing or event planning. There's so many businesses that you can do with a very low overhead. And sometimes you do a business in the beginning to fund the real deal. So I learned to really constrict my home budget to where I had more money, and I also learned more ways to bring in more money. There are hundreds of ways that you can start bringing in an extra $500 to $1,000 a month to be able to fund your dream. I'm not going to say what that thing is for you because I don't know your skills and your talents. But you got to get a grip on your money. You need to know where you're spending too much money. Are you spending more money on shopping than you need to? Are you going out to eat 5 or 6 times a week and then you still don't have enough money to take care of your responsibilities? If you have those bad habits now, they will run into your business. Just like good habits, bad habits will ruin your business. So you have to really get a grip on how you spend your money and how you spend your time, because it won't get better when you have more responsibility. You're going to have to make decisions, sometimes not to always be as social as you want to be, because you have to have priorities. And lastly, I want to talk about training. Train up a child the way they should go, and when they're old they won't depart from it. I think my mom used that scripture on us a few times when we were growing up, and I hope I did her proud. But it's the same thing. You have to train yourself, and you have to also train your employees. I mentioned Mary Kay earlier in the video, but I also want to highlight Madam C.J. Walker, or you may know her as Sarah Breedlove, her actual legal name. One of the things that she was able to do as the first documented female millionaire, she knew the power of training. Not only did she train herself, but she trained other women. A lot of times as women or as parents, we want to hold all of our good ideas to ourselves, but we have to train. You train your kids how to fold towels. You train them how to wash clothes. You train them in all of these things. You teach them what it means to have etiquette. It's the same thing you're going to do in business. You're going to teach your employees your brand. You're going to teach them how to be responsible. You're going to teach that to yourself as well. You're going to teach yourself how to do that pitch, that elevator speech. Over time, you're going to refine your skills. So you're always learning as a business owner. You're always taking the opportunity to learn and to do more. So when I see that there's so many people on the call, and I keep looking over to YouTube and I see that there are people on YouTube, it makes me excited that you chose to spend your Thursday night investing in yourself. Now I can already tell you, when Empire and Scandal come back on, I will make sure that I don't host events to compete with those wonderful shows, because y'all are not going to show up. I already know. But you're going to have to find time, even when those shows hit the market again, you're going to have to find a way to invest in yourself, to train yourself, because maybe you cannot afford to go to the $10,000 conference, and maybe you cannot afford to spend a few hundred or a few $1,000s on a coach right now. But there's so much free information out there. So how are you spending your time to train yourself? I'm going to give you a small example of one of the things that I committed to in August. I committed to spending an hour a day to work on training for myself. One of the trainings that I wanted to do is I wanted to learn how to use LinkedIn more effectively. So when I got on LinkedIn and I viewed my profile, I was like in the bottom 12% of my network. It really hurt my heart, right? Because I'm thinking that I'm a pretty cool person, but I don't want to be in the bottom 12%. So I began to study and research, what did I need to do to really bring my LinkedIn profile up to par? And I began to institute those things daily. So I've been working on it for about 2 weeks, and I'm all the way up to the top 29%. I was all excited today. I was like, yay, it's working. And so when you learn something and you apply yourself on your own, you're excited about it. One of the other things that me and my children, I am so committed to learning to speak Spanish fluently. The market I lived in is a very bilingual market, and I've shared with some of my friends and family how I really want me and my children together to learn this skill, and how great would it be for me to use this skill in business. So I want you to know you never stop learning on this entrepreneurial path. You have to continue to invest in yourself. You have to continue to put yourself in a space where you are working on your dream. Okay? A dream is not going to pay you. It's when you put that dream into reality that you start making conscious steps to, yes, it's a dream. Yes, I believe that this is something that I am destined to do. I believe my purpose lies in this, but now I have to walk out some steps to make my dream a reality. If you are close to me, you'll know one of the things I say all the time, faith without works is dead. I'm grateful to people that have a lot of faith. I'm so grateful when I hear them talk about it. But one of my main questions that I ask people that I coach all the time is, what are you doing? How are you maximizing? I am a very action-oriented person. Although I love on people and I want to know about what you're thinking about and what you're reading about, I want to know what you're doing. If you're not actively working toward growing, starting, expanding your business, then you have nobody to blame. You cannot blame your finances, because there's so much you can do while you're waiting on money or while you are capital building. So you want to always keep learning. You want to make sure that you learn about some of those women millionaires out there. There are plenty of them. I research them all the time. And I know we know a lot about the Oprahs. Well, there's only one Oprah, so let me correct that. I mean, we know about Oprah, but think about Ursula Barnes. She is the CEO of Xerox. I mean, she is a self-made millionaire. I think about Miss Huffington Post. I mean, look how much she sold Huffington for. I think it was something of saying like $341 million. I mean, there's so many female millionaires out there, and a lot of them are self-made. You have to listen to your instinct. As a mother, we have that natural intuition sometimes, and we know when we need to check on our kids. I mean, we know when we need to do something, when we need to check their grades. It's the same thing in business. There is an instinct. About a year ago, something told me it was time for me to expand. And it was really before the time in my business that I should have expanded. It wasn't on my business map. And I say business map because I believe that your business plan, which some people call it, I call it a business map, should take you from where you are now on a journey to where you want to go. And so you'll often hear me use the term business map. My business map said we were going to open our second location in year 2. But it didn't happen that way. The demand of the community and some doors opening up had us opening our second location within a year of our first location. My natural brain was scared to death, because I had just got to a point where I was really making profit. And now I was going to be investing all of that profit into expanding my business. I was not comfortable with that. But my instinct said it was the right thing to do. And because I listened to my instinct, we grew our business 4 times in revenue within 2 months of opening our new location. It was a big risk, but there was an instinct inside of me that told me it was the right thing to do. So, what are your instincts telling you about your business? That you should move forward, that you need to take some time, that you need to do some research. Okay, I'm not talking about what your fears are telling you. What are your instincts telling you? A lot of times when people ask me a question, I ask them back. When you ask yourself that question, what was the first thing that came to your mind? Because a lot of times we want to negate our intuition and we want to negate our instinct, but that is our God-given navigation. It is what kind of leads us in the right direction. Our instincts are also mechanisms that keep us safe. You know, sometimes you'll meet a person and you'll automatically know, oh, I wouldn't want to do business with them. And then something happens later that you find out that your instinct was absolutely correct. So don't discount your instinct. Your instinct is something that will definitely many times lead you in the right direction. Sometimes our intellect will talk us out of things when our instinct is telling us exactly what we need to do. So it's definitely a balance between your instinct and your intellect. I said the last thing, but I actually was looking down at my notes and I forgot one of the most important things that I learned as a mommy, and that is to celebrate. Yes, we have all these successes, right? But oftentimes we don't take time to celebrate. I talked to a person this week, and I hope she's on the call. Her name is Nikki. Hey, Nikki, I hope you are listening right now. And she explained to me that she was in a point of business and she really wanted some advice, which was great. But one of the things I did not hear her do was celebrate. She had already started a business. She already has customers. She's already making money. Don't negate those success. They are really big. Celebrate them. As you begin to celebrate yourself, others will celebrate you too. And if you have to throw a party by yourself that you finally accomplished sending out your blog 4 weeks in a row, celebrate. If you finally did the financials for your business, celebrate. You have to celebrate those small things, because if you don't get used to celebrating your success, you're always going to go from one thing to the next and you're always going to feel stressed out. Oh, well, I have to do this now and I have to do that now. No, we're going to celebrate. Every level in my business, me and my employees, we would set marks and we were like, okay, we got there. Let's celebrate. Yay! We made our goal. I made it a part of my culture to celebrate my landmarks. When I get off this webinar tonight, I am going to celebrate with a fine 3-course meal. Some of it's going to be healthy, but I am going to celebrate, because when you celebrate yourself, you are letting off positive endorphins in your body that allows you to push on and move on a little bit more. So you have to celebrate your success. I don't want you to continue to beat yourself up over what you have not done. Let that sink in. If you're continually beating yourself up, tearing yourself down with I could have, I would have, I should have, I'm not good enough, with that negative self-talk, and you're not celebrating your success, you're actually being toxic to your own business. You don't want to be toxic to your own business. One of the best medicines in the world is laughter and happiness. When you put yourself in a positive space, you're able to think clearer. You're able to move without a lot of weight, So you have to begin to celebrate your success, and just know if you don't celebrate, no one else will. Cause people, make them celebrate with you. There are some people you should be able to call on, and they should be willing to boost you up and to celebrate your success with you. Well, we're almost at the end of our webinar tonight, and I know a few of you will probably have some questions about exactly, how I was able to make the money that I have made so far. So I want to touch on that really quickly. Um, so we do have the child care centers, and I do coach and consult. Um, and those are my main streams of revenue at this point. I would say to you, if you do not have an exact revenue plan, then you need to really sit down and see where money is coming in from, how much, and where you need to focus your energy. You cannot focus all of your energy on one thing if it's not being profitable. So sometimes we have to tweak and retweak our plan. And so I challenge you tonight to see, where are your revenue streams? Where are you making money? To set a goal. If your goal is to make $3,000 in revenue, you need to know what customers you need, how many customers it takes to get there, and you need to have a plan. See, planning is something that you learn in parenting. You just don't wake up and say, oh, we're just going to do what we want to do today. No, you plan. And that's the same thing you're going to have to do with your business. I want to tell you about something very special that I have coming up, because I really have a passion to help you take your dreams to a reality. I want to help you grow. That is the whole reason behind the webinars. It's the reason behind my blog. It's the reason behind the MAD agency. Really, it's really in alignment to my school's Imagine Me Academy. My goal was to help empower, help educate people to be everything that they wanted to be, that the possibilities were limitless. And so my businesses, they really do coincide really well. In the school, I get to teach children, and in my business, I get to teach adults. But the main thing is the main thing. I'm teaching them how to create and how to get the life they deserve. So I have a special event coming up, and I want to invite all of you to join in this event. And I'm going to be giving away some seats to this event, but you're going to have to do something in order to get a free seat. So in September, I will be hosting a live event, which will be a co-working and learning day. Half of the day will be spent learning, and half of the day will be spent doing. Remember, one of my biggest mottos is faith without works is dead. And I really believe that God will bless the work of your hands. So we have to give him something to bless. So we will spend half of the day learning and half of the day co-working. And so I am going to be giving some seats away. I'm going to give 3 seats away over the next few weeks. The date of the event is going to be on, I've been going back and forth in my mind, but I'm going to commit to a date. The date for this event is going to be September 12th. Okay, I decided. It's going to be this September 12th. We are going to have a day of co-working and a day of learning. This event will be so lowly priced where I don't want to hear any of your excuses of why you can't come. I know all of you have $50 to invest in yourself. Normally my live events are $199 to $250, but this event is $50. So that's one meal at Pappadeaux's for all of you Houston people. It's one hot meal at your favorite restaurant. But I promise you, this will be the best investment to put you on track. What I do not want to do is I do not want you going into the 4th quarter of the year without a plan. So right now we're in the 3rd quarter of the year. And so we're wrapping it up. But October, November, and December, that will be the 4th quarter. And in this 4th quarter, I plan to crush it. I plan to have my profitability up. I plan to increase my branding and my marketing, and I don't want to leave you behind. So we're not going to wait. I'm going to give everyone about a month to get their affairs in order. And we're going to have this early bird special of just $50. And we're going to have panels. We're going to have information. And we're going to work. You're going to leave there that day with tangible evidence of your business starting, growing, or expanding. So how many of you are excited about that? Good. So how do I win a free spot, Brandy? I'm going to tell you right now. In order to win a free spot, I'm going to give 3 away, and I'm going to be announcing the winners as we go through this journey. I'll start announcing the winners the week of August the 27th. We'll announce the winners, but we're going to do a small essay contest, and you see my email at the very bottom. And the only way you can win is by submitting an essay, right? And it's going to be an essay, 300 words maximum, of where you want your business to be in the next 6 months and what are you going to do to make it happen. I'm going to repeat that. Where do you want your business to be in the next 6 months and what are you going to do to make it happen? From this webinar tonight, I will be giving 1 seat, and then when we do our webinar on the 27th, I will give another seat, and then I'll also give a seat the week of the event. But you have to stay connected. I'll be putting something on Facebook of how you can submit your admissions, but I'm only giving 3 seats away, and it will fill up. We're going to have 30 participants at this event. And we're going to start with the early bird of $50. But the event will go up the last week of registration. So I want to put that out there. If you know that you don't want to wait on a free seat and you are ready to rock and roll and you know you want to be at that learning and co-working day, all you have to do is make sure you're on the mailing list, because we will be sending out some information later today of how you can be at that event. I am telling you, it's going to be an event that you don't want to miss. Don't let everybody pass you up while you're thinking about it. That's why I only made the event $50. There's no one on this call that can't tell me that you know how to put your hand on $50. It is such a reasonable price. It's ridiculous. If my coach knew that I was doing an event for $50, she would probably cut my head off. But I'm doing it as a form of service, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself. So I cannot wait to see you at our next webinar. We will not be meeting on the 20th because it's the week of back to school, but we'll have all the information on Facebook about the next event. I want to help you turn your dreams into a reality. Will you help me, Litch? Will you please help me help you make some money? That's all I'm asking. I want you to achieve your dreams. I've been telling all of my girlfriends, my business girlfriends, I'm going to Bora Bora, and I want some women who are heavy hitters and some powerhouses. I want them on the island with me. I cannot wait to celebrate in 2016 because I already know it's going to be a phenomenal year. So put the date on your calendar. September the 12th, we will be hosting a co-working and learning day. Half of the day will be spent learning how to grow, start, and expand your business. And the other half of the day will be co-working. I don't want you to leave without products. I don't want you to leave without talking to people. We'll actually have opportunities for you to have 10 to 15 minute mini coaching sessions with coaches around the Houston area. I mean, we will have panels. We will have information. We'll have a resource guides. You do not want to miss this event. If you follow me and you're not in Houston, fly in, get a hotel. I mean, it's just like this much money to attend the event. And so I just cannot wait to share with you guys more details about the event. Powerhouse is uniting. Yes, we were going to unite to make an obscene amount of money, to reach our goals, to take care of our families. I'm so happy that you joined me tonight on my Mommy to Millionaire call. I cannot wait to have other aspiring millionaires behind me, and so we can talk about where we started and where we ended up. I am so excited about the journey that I'm taking. I don't want to leave anybody behind. So I hope to see you soon. I look forward to all of your response from the webinar tonight. You can get on Facebook, brandy.woods1908. Make sure you like my page. Make sure that you are on the mailing list so we can continue to connect. Go to Facebook right now if you know you're going to be at the Powerhouses Unite co-working day and training day. I want you to commit to it. Tell yourself, I'm going to do it. Because if you don't commit to yourself, who will? Well, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for sharing your evening with me from Mommy to Millionaire. Hopefully, you'll take all of those skills that we talked about: learning, budgeting, multitasking, resilience, making sure that you have that schedule tight and right, and that you begin to apply to your business today. See you soon. Hopefully, I'll see you at the bank because that's where I'm on my way to. I appreciate you for being on tonight and have a great evening. Make sure you share this broadcast with your friends and coworkers. Can't wait to see you soon. Have a great evening.